That's the funny thing about the military too. A lot of people would expect, if you're looking at a convoy or you got 4 guys in a vehicle, you probably think we got some hardcore gangster something going on, but it's call me maybe going on in there or something, last Friday
Oh,
night.
shut up! I could see him in there. Last Friday
A
night.
hundred, 100%.
Welcome back to Wandering, y'all. I have Kyle Wally here with me today. He's my first remote podcast, so we're going to get through this together, okay? Thank you so much for doing this, Kyle. I really appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. It's an honor. Appreciate it.
I want to start by saying thank you so much for your service, man.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for the
For,
support.
was it episode 24? I had my brother-in-law on an episode, and that is Kyle's dad. You might see a resemblance, maybe not.
You might can hear it if you don't see it.
Yeah, I was about to say, both have a pretty southern accent. I think yours might be a little bit more redneck. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah, I get that all the time. Boomhauer. Yeah, I know
But
y'all watch King of the Hill now. I get it.
yeah,
And it's just dang old complicated, man. It's like a dang old Rubik's Cube, man. You like talking about it, blue, red, man, then you get to one side and then you like mess it up the other side.
but for you, do you consider yourself? I have to ask everyone this now because it just did so well in my last clip that I made. Do you consider yourself like country, southern, redneck, or hillbilly?
Look, I'll put it this way. If you're born in a certain few states, and I won't name them all out loud because I seen it last time. There's some debate. If you're in a southern state, most of the time, whether you want to admit it or not, you're probably a redneck.
Yeah,
You do something. There's something about you that you do that people up north don't do, people out west don't do, people in the east don't do. No matter how fancy you get, the draw could come out. You know what I mean? But I'd
that's
say,
true.
I'd say, yeah, I'd say, yeah. I have some redneck tendencies. I like to dress up at times, but I raise chickens and I've raised pigs and I have sheep and
What do you
stereotypes are
think
there.
defines a redneck?
Ooh, really? You just need to take a drive down one of these Mississippi roads, and I could show you better than I could tell you. You know what I mean? Drop some clips of down the road here. We can show you some rednecks.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. That was so funny when Alan was talking about. I just feel like a redneck's like, I'm gonna go down the river and blow some tannerite up. I'm
Yeah,
like,
describes itself.
I'm like, you fucking do that. The hell?
100%. 100%. He is the redneck.
Maybe I could be considered a redneck. I don't know. I'm not offended
I
by
don't
any
think
of them.
so.
But
I
when I
think
think of a
some are.
redneck, I think of somebody who, man, shit, when I get off, I'm going to get me a case of beer and pound it and go down to the river and shoot my gun and, blow some tannerite up and
But
go down to the bar and empty
this
the bar out.
motherfucker's talking about blowing up shit. You did that for us for Thanksgiving. All
Yeah.
my international friends came home
Oh,
with me
that's for entertainment.
Thanksgiving.
That wasn't for my entertainment. That was for their entertainment.
And you went out in the field and you had a gun and you shot something and it fucking exploded. You don't remember that?
Man, I had way too many sips of wine over the years to remember that. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I have a video of it.
It has to be tannerite. It had to be tannerite.
Yeah. So he just pretty much classified himself of what he is.
I skate the line. I'm right there.
Yeah. I think, yeah, we might all have some redneck tendencies. It's fun. It's
That's
fun
it right there.
sometimes.
Redneck tendencies, We may not be full time, but, the switch is turned up to 75% most of the time.
Yeah, that's true. But you are a Mississippi boy.
I'm born and raised. I lived in Louisiana for a little time, but I am born and raised here.
But you didn't grow up in George County, did you?
I'd say I lived in George County until about the 4th grade, somewhere in there, and then I moved to
Okay.
Jones County, and I stayed in Jones County. I went through the rest of elementary school, middle school, high school in Jones County, and toward the end of high school, went to Louisiana for a short period of time, and then I went to the military, and here I
How
am
old were
again, back in
you?
Mississippi.
Yeah, you're back to your roots.
Yeah,
How old were you when you went into the military? And what branch were you
18.
in?
I was fresh turned 18 and I went to the Army. Actually started out my military career in the Army Reserves. So for a few years there, I was in the reserves, went to basic training, went to AIT, my job school. I was a mechanic. and came back home. Did the reserve thing for a little while. That wasn't working out because I was still making dumb decisions, running with um, probably crowds I shouldn't have been running with and stuff like that. And yeah, that led to me going active duty, which essentially changed my life.
Can you explain to me what do you mean by reserve from someone that literally has no idea anything
Yeah,
about military terms or
yeah. So you got the reserves and the National Guard, which are similar entities. You go to basic training, you go to AIT, you go to the military. But after the training's all over with, when your active duty guys are going to pick their units that they're going to go to where they get stationed, you'll go back home, and then one weekend a month and a couple weeks out of the summer, you'll go do your drills and they still get deployed and stuff like that. But it's just essentially that's why they call it reserves. You're like backup. They'll send you, they'll send you here, they'll send you there. Um, you got to have them to keep the big machine going. You know.
but you're not like out on the field shooting folks.
If they get deployed, they go do the same thing that active duty guys do. So I can't say that because the reserve and guard people are going to drill us in the comments. They do their part, but they work a 9 to 5. You know, you got car salesmen, you got
Okay.
police officers, you got just whatever your typical job is, and then one weekend a month they'll go to drill and they'll do their military job, and then when they deploy, they do their military job.
Where all have you traveled because of being in the military?
So when I went active duty, being prior service, they let me pick my duty station of choice, which didn't really even come down to my choice because like my top three choices were closed. So, but it come down to I got a good selection of choosing between Fort Carson, Colorado, and Fort Stewart, Georgia. Um, so I went to Fort Carson, and it's a beautiful place, Colorado Springs. If you've ever been there, if you've never been there, I
Mhm.
recommend going. It's a beautiful
I
city.
have. I went for the first time last year.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So I was
Super
in Fort
cool
Carson.
town.
Yes, it's crazy. There's a lot going on in that town. But got to
Yeah.
Carson. I wasn't at Carson, but just I mean, very shortly, and then we deployed. We went overseas, went to Poland. On the way to Poland, we stopped in Ireland, hung out there for a few hours. So I went to Poland, was over there 9 months, and during that rotation to Europe, I call it a rotation because people are grilling me for saying deployment on here. We went on a rotation to Poland, and I was able to go to Germany. I went to Latvia, went to Lithuania. While I was over there, we took an MWR trip. I was able to go see Auschwitz and Birkenau, the concentration camps. So that was a real cool
Oh,
experience.
dang.
Yeah, that's a surreal place right there.
Yeah, I don't know if I could handle that.
I feel like if you like history, I'm a kind of a history nerd. It's something. It's good. Crazy to see it in person. The books and the stories don't really do it justice until you can see these places with your own. How big the operations was.
So when you were traveling through all these places, were you actually able to explore and see the countries or were you like
Yeah, a
working?
little bit. I was with a good group of guys, and I had a good chain of command. So whenever we wasn't doing anything, we was able to kind of go travel within certain ranges and stuff like that. I've been all over Poland. Downtown Poznan is crazy. Krakow's crazy.
I've
Um,
never been to Poland,
hey,
but my
Poland
friend
is
is
cool.
married to a Polish girl and I tried a Polish
What?
dish. Crap, I can't
You
remember
need
the
to
name of
go.
it.
You
I
need to go.
know.
Poland is awesome. It really is. There's good people over there. Stuff is cheaper. You know, it's affordable. I don't want to say cheap. It's affordable over
Yeah.
there. You can get good food and there's good people. Latvia was crazy, and Lithuania.
Yeah, never been. Yeah, you've been to a bunch of places I've never been to. Those are
You been
such
to Germany?
interesting places to go to be at for the military, for active duty, I feel like.
Yeah, they're interesting. You know how the world is. They got so much stuff going on with the Russia Ukraine stuff that I think they just wanted to have people close. You know.
Yeah, and I feel like too with you guys, you're always like, oh, you get to pick your deployment or you get to put a top three or whatever you said. And then you're like, what the hell? I ended up in Chicago or somewhere like kind of shitty or
Yeah.
somewhere that they didn't want to be.
Yeah, they'll give you a wish list, and you better fill out all the blanks on the wish list. And when it comes to a deployment, you don't get to pick that one. They send you where they want you. And
Oh, really? What was
that's
your wish
probably. I'm sure
list?
you have your guys out here that are in the clique. That got enough rank and enough motion to do that type of thing. But
Yeah.
I went to Poland, and In my job in particular, being a mechanic, we have like people that worked on our own vehicles, people that worked on external, other people's vehicles, and then people that did services. I was fortunate enough to be on the external team, so I got to travel. That's why I was able to go to some of these other places. I would go fix some of their
Awesome.
vehicles or assist in fixing vehicles, stuff like that.
What
Yeah.
was your wish list?
So first, I wanted to go to Fort Bragg. I wanted to go jump out of perfectly good airplanes. It was closed. And
Dang.
then second on the list, if I couldn't go to Bragg, I wanted to go to Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Right there on the Kentucky-Tennessee line, and
Mm-hmm.
go rappel out of helicopters. It was closed. So finally, I asked him. I said, "What do y'all have open?"
Yeah, you're
So
like,
he gave me a list, and it was Fort Drum was on there. No offense to my Fort Drum people, but I'm good on that. Fort Polk was on there. I was good on that. Fort Hood, Fort Bliss, I was good on that. So Carson came up, and Fort Stewart, Georgia came up. Both of them really stood out, but I knew if I said no to Colorado, I would have regretted it.
yeah. So you went to
Beautiful.
Colorado, but then when you went into active duty, then you went international.
So when
Am
I
I
when I
understanding
first
this
got to
right?
Colorado, I'd been in Colorado for about 3 months, and we deployed.
Okay.
Yeah,
Your deployment, then you go.
that's right. We was overseas.
And then you came back to Colorado?
And then came back to Colorado, and then I was there for about 2 more years, and, my plan in the military was, I said I was a mechanic. During when I was in deployment, I was able to do some more college and get my schooling up, and, was fortunate enough to meet some really cool pilots and warrant officers and officers. I was going to fly helicopters. That was the plan, to drop a warrant officer packet and go fly, and, all that was going good. So my whole deployment, outside of working and seeing the country, I was just kinda networking and meeting people, and, the warrant officer, the packet is kind of like an adult scavenger hunt. People are not gonna hold your hand and walk you through to go get it, so you have to go talk to this person over here and this person over here, and I got all the pieces of the puzzle done, get back home from deployment, and then, was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. So, I was medically retired from the
Oh.
military. Um,
Oh, I remember that.
yep, so it wrapped my career up short.
Are you happy about that or disappointed? I mean, I know you're
I
not
had
happy
mi
about
I
getting
had mixed feel
Crohn's, but
it was mixed emotions. I didn't know what Crohn's disease was. I just knew that I was having some stomach issues when I was deployed that were kinda getting worse, I'll leave it that way, and,
yeah.
it was real conflicting, but I truly believe that God has a plan for everybody, and whether your plan may not always prevail, you know what I mean? I was still able to fly while I was in Colorado. I lived on the Air Force Academy and was able to join the Aero Club there. I'm a student pilot. I don't have my pilot's license finished yet, but was able to join the Aero Club there. Met a kid named Trevor that was 20 years old. Shout out Trevor, my flight instructor. That's the sharp kid right there, and he was able to teach me some stuff, and we was able to get some stuff knocked out. So there's a couple things I got to clear up with my doctors, but if all goes well, prayerfully, I'll be flying again pretty soon.
Were you sad to be part ways with the military or?
Yeah, well, yeah. So I have 2 kids. I have a 1-year-old son and I have a 6-year-old daughter. And my daughter was still in Mississippi with her mother, and I wasn't able to see her as much as I would like. And that right there was kinda taking a bigger it was taking a bigger toll on me than I kinda like to let out or would let out around the
Yeah.
guys type of deal. So when it kinda come down to the wire, like I said, God has a plan for a reason, and I'm happy to be home. So 9 years in the military, 20 into 2015, beginning of 2016 to last year. So
I'm sweating the hell down. I gotta put my AC on. Can you see my
all
sweat
good,
marks on my
all
forehead?
good. All good. That's the funny thing about the military too. A lot of people would expect, if you're looking at a convoy or you got 4 guys in a vehicle, you probably think we got some hardcore gangster something going on, but it's call me maybe going on in there or something, last Friday night.
Shut up. I can see him in there. Last Friday
A
night.
hundred, 100%, 100%. Shout out my boy
So,
Towery.
oh my gosh. I need some video proof of this.
Oh, we got it out there. I'll get it to you.
I have a
Yeah.
friend right now. She just finished her because you start out as a student and then you are the instructor. And she just
Yep. So
finished
she
all of
got her
that. And
products. Got her
yeah, she
CFI.
has She has an interview with American Airlines soon, so it's pretty
Yeah,
dope.
that's awesome. That's awesome.
I
That's
could
the goal right there.
never.
People want to get to 1,500 hours right there.
You know, I got flight anxiety.
So you know what's crazy is I don't love getting on airplanes most of the time, but when you're flying it, it's 100% different feeling. You know,
Yeah, that's what everyone says. A lot of her friends were like, "It's because you're not the one in control."
you have to be present in an airplane. I'll say I'll put it.
This girl ain't present, boo. I take my medication and I'm present in the sleep. I'm present in the I don't even know where I'm at.
Hey, lots of prayer and be present. I could put it that way. I get nervous. There'd be days the
Yeah.
weather would be a little whatever, and we're gonna go get this done and practice this, and I'd be a little nervous about it. I'll be praying the whole time. Lord, please let us get up here and
Yeah.
make it.
I've I've gotten better. I don't take as many as I used to, but yeah, I gotta have that flight anxiety medication.
Hey, people have it.
I know, it's wild.
It's
But when
it's
you
scary, you know.
but when you first started your journey in the army, what made that decision for you to go into the army?
That that was deep. Just since a kid, I knew there was something in me that I always wanted to go to the military. I didn't know what I wanted to go do exactly. You know, every little kid has the dream. I want to be a Navy SEAL, or I want to be a Green Beret. I want to do all this. I knew I wanted to go to the military, and I had an uncle who served my aunt Vanessa's husband, Justin, and he was a big part of that. He had just got back from Afghanistan when I was younger, adolescent age. So kind of seeing him come back, and I just thought he was super cool, and I had always felt like I wanted to do it, so I went and did it. I was working at a Harley shop in Houma, Louisiana, as a just a helper. They called me Baby Doug. I was wiping down bikes and cleaning up the shop and stuff like that. And I turned 18, and I told them I was kind of thinking about going to the military, and one thing led to another, and I was headed to Fort Jackson.
See, I thought you went into the military because you was getting in trouble as a kid.
So look, I got in trouble too, but I was never like it wasn't that. Like that wasn't the reason I went, you know? I will
Because
say
I
that
know some people do that.
it probably helped keep me out of trouble. It got me away from certain things. I never got myself in trouble to the point where it was like, "Hey, you gotta go to the military, you're going to jail," but I was probably that close to it. So, it was just time to grow up. I need to go learn some hard lessons, and I've I don't know why people are that way. I feel like a lot of people are this way. You can learn from other people's mistakes, or you can go make them yourself, and when I was younger, you couldn't tell me nothing.
I mean,
Uh,
that's just how you are when you're a teenager. I was the same
you
way.
know? Yeah, hard-headed. You just gotta go see for yourself, and
But I wanted
100%.
to ask you, so do y'all really have beef? All the different branches, like the Army, the Navy. What?
You
This
got
is horrible.
you got the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the
Air
Marine
Force.
Corps, Coast Guard, the Space Force. We got a Space Force now.
Oh, so do y'all all really have beef?
It's a friendly beef, you know?
Are you
It's a
lying?
friendly beef. It's a friendly beef. Like, we're not beating each other up on sight or nothing like that unless it's like,
That would be crazy.
unless it's like after work. I can tell you this: deployments are crazy. Cause say the Army's there and the Marine Corps is there, and we're allowed to go to the same bars and places or whatever. There's altercations at times, but when it comes down to the nitty gritty, like us versus the other side type of deal, that all gets put to the side. It's a friendly beef. I wouldn't
Yeah,
even
so
really call it a beef.
it's just
Like big brother
it's
relationship, you know?
so tell me about these MRE crackers.
Oh, dude, you ever try to do the MRE cracker challenge? I don't even know if
I
it's a
don't
real
even
challenge.
know what a damn MRE cracker is.
The driest cracker on this planet. I mean, 10 out of 10, the driest cracker I've ever had. One day in the motor pool, we was bored. You know, we had just got back from deployment and we had a bunch of MREs that we were getting rid of or whatever. And somebody said that they could eat a cracker in this amount of time. And it just one thing led to another, you know, impossible. You can't do that. No water. Um, so it just started out, let's see it. And you cannot do it. If you can eat both MRE crackers, what's it, a minute? In less than a minute with no water, You have to swallow it, but nobody
But
could do it in my motor pool.
but y'all for real like eat that? Y'all have that like
Oh
when y'all go?
yeah, we eat MREs if you're in the field or something like that. You know, there's times we eat MREs. Now there are options. You know, if you're bringing a rucksack, if you're in the big army, you could bring a jet bowl and soups or whatever, and you can fit in your pack along with all your mandatory gear. You could bring it with you, but most time it's easier. You can find one of the MREs that's halfway edible.
How is the
There's a
food?
couple that I would say are halfway good. You know, you got to keep in mind that good for an MRE. You know, yeah, dude. I
How
like the
is
chili one and the chili mac one. They got candy in
chili mac crackers?
them. No, crackers just come in the MRE. Is like crackers are there with. They have a cheese spread. Sometimes they have a pack of peanut butter in there. MREs have a bunch. There's a bunch of different kinds.
Oh.
Yeah, some of them
What
have bread in them. Some of them have crackers in them.
but what are you talking about with chili mac?
They have like a chili mac MRE. That was one. If you ask, drop a poll on here, like, what's your favorite MRE? I would say chili mac's probably going to be up on the list
What
for
does
most people.
MRE stand for?
A meal ready to eat.
I didn't know
But
that. I thought that was just a cracker thing.
no, MRE is this. We have to find you a picture of one. It's just a pack, and it'll come with a main course in it. It'll have like a cracker or bread in it. Um, some of them have a candy or a dessert of some sort. Yeah, there's several different kinds of MREs.
What would you rate the food?
Like I said, for me, I'd say a chili mac is the best one, or the chili, and I'm not putting either one of them over a 7, or probably
Like
really a 6.
regular chili? Like chili with beans?
Oh, they have chili with beans, and you know, the MRE comes with a little heater that you put about that much water in, and then you put the food down in it, and you wrap it up and shake it, and in a couple of minutes it'll heat it up. You can have hot chili right there. Mm.
Oh, sounds lovely.
Hey, the
So
cornbread
it's
in it really is good though. Low key, it's like Jif cornbread in a little pack.
oh for real? Dang.
Yeah, not bad. Maybe I was just hungry when I was eating all them things.
I was about to say. So explain to me your TikTok that you made that I saw when I went and creeped on you. What did
So,
you mean by a second article reading?
okay, shout out. I'm gonna say shout out Private Mills real quick. Mills was one of the soldiers that was with us throughout my whole time at Fort Carson. When I got to Fort Carson, Mills was there, and he deployed with us. And I got stories about my boy. That's a wild guy right there. We'll leave it that way. Uh, he got in trouble. He come home after deployment and decided he's gonna smoke him a little reefer. And instead of just doing it one time, he decided he's gonna do it all the time. And Mills failed his drug test. And it come down
Oh.
to it, yeah, man. And that happens all the time. Soldiers do stupid stuff, especially when you know we've been gone, no freedoms, whatever. They get a little wild, and he got an Article 15. So Mills was a private first class, and they gave him. They call it a reading. You know, when you're in high school, you get wrote up by the principal. In the military, you can get wrote up too, but it's called an Article 15. And there's levels to Article 15s, like company grade. We're just going to keep it right here. Field grade, it goes up to some higher echelons people, and they go up. So they read it to him and told him that what his punishment was going to be, and he lost some rank and he had to do a little extra duty. But there was a group of guys that we all really liked Mills. He was a good soldier, good dude, and he just had him a new kid and stuff. He just made a bad decision, so we all kind of teamed up and fought to keep Mills in the army. So Mills lost some rank and he got in some trouble, but he was able to hold on to his career.
Dang.
Yeah, that's a crazy dude right there. He's a real one though.
So when you say rank, like I don't
Like your
understand.
actual. So when you come into the military, enlisted, you know, if you're not going to use your college degree or don't have a college degree, you'll be enlisted. You come in as a private E1, you know, no rank. You don't actually wear a physical rank on you, and then it goes up E1 through E9. And Mills had worked his way up to E3 about to be an E4, and then he failed his drug test and had to go back down to an E1. So his pay, that's how you make your extra money. You know, in the civilian world, you get you a raise.
Oh,
Yeah, you get a
yeah.
raise. You get private again, private first class, specialist, etc. Your money goes up and your responsibility goes up.
So y'all couldn't party, y'all couldn't drink, y'all couldn't smoke.
You ain't supposed to smoke marijuana. There, like I said, there's guys that do it, but we were allowed to drink and stuff like that. You just had to you got to keep it between the wheels. We had a buddy of ours that got a DUI out there that thought it was a good idea to leave the bar and head to another bar. And you know how people park their cars on the side of the road in cities, one next to it. He
Yeah.
just boop, 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 boop. He took out a row of them and pulled right into the bar.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, sure did. Cops found him there with his bumper tore off, and he was tore up.
Oh my gosh. Dang.
Yeah.
What's the wildest thing you ever saw when you were in the military?
As far as military wise, or the wildest thing that I've ever just saw, because you got
Whichever
to keep
one
it.
you whichever one you
Uh,
think you can disclose.
I could just tell you either one of them, but you know, there's two sides of it, right? I'll put the military like this: it's kind of like a fraternity, a big fraternity. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So we'll go do our normal day-to-day job, our mission, and get the mission done. And then when that part's over, we're still normal people. So, and most of them are young, you know, 18, 19, 21-year-old cats. So they'll go get wild. So I've seen wild as far as the job goes, and I've seen wild as far as what them boys are doing in their free time with their money. But
Well, give me both.
for me, like I said, I was a mechanic, and I was fortunate that I missed the Iraq and the Afghanistan epidemic. It was kind of simmering down when I joined the military. There were still guys going back and forth, and guys still go, but I didn't have to go along that. Unfortunately, there was when I was in Europe, there was some guys from the Puerto Rican reserves that had crashed a truck, and they had lost their lives in that truck. And I saw some of the remnants of stuff like that. Um,
Mm.
so as far as that goes, I was fortunate. There's people that lost friends and stuff like that, lost their brothers out here. So I was fortunate. I didn't have to experience that sort of thing. Um, but as far as the other side of it goes, man, we had a kid that drank a Corona through his ass. You know what I mean? Like real wild man. You know what I'm saying? So true story. He knows who he is, and he's watching this right now too. Shout out to you, gangster. Real
That
deal.
tone changed real freaking quick.
Free, real. That's what I'm saying, dude. The military ain't what people think it is. A lot of as many bad times as there are, there's some funny good times in there too. And that whole
Oh, I'm
situation right there,
sure.
that came out of left field. You know what I mean? Somebody thought he was Steve-O. I think Steve-O's the first one that did the butt chug. So shout out Steve-O. But I got a soldier that'll do it too.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
Y'all
for
really are
real.
y'all really are like brothers though.
Oh,
Huh.
100%. I mean, that's the thing about it. You get sent somewhere with these people like this, and you played sports. I played sports. It's like a sports family that lived together 25/8. You know, so we all got real close. We know all of our dirty little secrets and what he likes and what he likes, what she don't like. You know what I mean? So it's just one big family,
Yeah.
and that
That's
comes with problems
awesome.
too sometimes.
True. The family tea. You weren't like shooting guns or anything, were you?
Well, I mean, we shoot guns and stuff like that, but I wasn't on the front lines or nothing like that. No.
So that is like you have when you go in, you have to be like, "Hey, I want to be on the front lines," or do you have to like
No,
try out for it or
so that's what basic training is. Basic training, y'all all get a basic, like an infantry type of training. Y'all learn how to qualify on a weapon. Everybody learns how to throw a grenade. There's basic drills and battle drills and stuff like that you're taught as a regular soldier. That way you don't get, if you ever do find yourself in combat, you're not lost in the sauce per se, 100%. But we
yeah.
have guys in the military that are infantry that is their sole job is combat. So they train them battle drills deeper and more in depth than we do. So they teach you how
Yeah.
to how to shoot a gun and stay alive and stuff. But when it comes time for combat, they're going to send the infantry guys. They might put a few mechanics with the infantry guys so we can keep their vehicles rolling. But the way it would more than likely go out, they're over there shooting while I'm fixing it. You know?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
everyone plays such an important role.
Oh, you have to have everybody. I mean, even the logistics people that are coordinating everything. You know, how many vehicles, how much fuel, where are you going? It's there's so much that goes into it.
Yeah. But as you can tell, I know nothing. That's why I'm like, did you have to shoot guns? Like, I
Oh, look,
sound so
I'll be
stupid.
real. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and try to make it out like the Poland rotation was just a war zone conflict. It wasn't nothing like that. I was fortunate. Like I said, I was able to travel around and go to some other countries and fix some cool vehicles. And we unloaded a bunch of helicopters off of a big ship right there. And when I was in Latvia, it was awesome. But I spent a
That's
lot of time
awesome.
getting tattoos when I was in Poland. That's what I like to do for fun. I like to go get tattoos in different places by different people.
Get some ink.
Yeah, I probably got 30 something hours of tattoo or more, maybe 40 something hours of tattooing in Poland done.
Dang. Where was your
Yeah.
favorite place that
Um,
you traveled
that
to?
I went to. My favorite spot that I got to see when I was in Germany, but I didn't get to stay in Germany for a couple of days. Beautiful, beautiful old castles, crazy infrastructure. Like the highway systems there are awesome, and green, green grass everywhere you look.
Yeah. I
But
bet it was
Poland was
beautiful.
awesome. Downtown Poznan, Poland would be cool, or Krakow. Krakow's beautiful too. There's some cool architecture in Europe. You know,
Yeah.
old. There's still stuff from World War II and prior still left over there. I just like seeing that. That's awesome.
All right, we're going to play a game. This is the segment of the week, Kyle, and it is called
All right.
Is That an Order or a Joke? I'm going to read a rule, and you'll tell me if it's real or made up
Okay.
for the military.
All right.
Okay, you can get in trouble for having your hands in your pockets.
True.
Why?
About the most hand you could put in your pocket in the military is probably your thumb like this. It's unprofessional, is what they say.
Oh, it's unprofessional. Okay. Let's
What if
see.
somebody pushes you over and you fall down? How you gonna catch yourself?
Good point. Oh, you're not allowed to sit on your bed during the day.
In basic training in AIT, that's true. But when you get to the big army, yeah, you don't want to be caught going to your bed during the duty day when you're supposed to be at work. If you tell me you're going to the doctor and you're in bed, you're gonna get in trouble. But if you're just on quarters or something, or you're off of work, yeah, dude, you can sleep all day.
You're not allowed to walk and drink water at the same time.
Or chew gum or smoke a cigarette.
At the same time?
Dude, you gotta stop.
So you can't walk and take a sip of water?
Nope. You gotta stop and drink it, close it, and continue walking. Now
But why do
listen,
you thi
these rules right here are like some of the most broken rules in the military. But all these people that break these rules would never break them in front of the sergeant major that's in charge of it. You know what I mean?
but why do you think these rules are set in place? Is it more of a power trip or
Eh, a lot of people like to look at it like that, and I've been guilty of looking at it like that too. But at the end of the day, when you really, really want to break it down, you're a number and you're an investment. They pay you for your body and your mind. I got in trouble. You see, I'm bald headed, obviously. So when I first got to basic, I used to have long, flippy hair or whatever, and they buzz cut us, and they buzz cut the whole platoon. And then afterwards, I got the bright idea since my hair is shaved already. I've never been slick bald before, and there was a guy in reception with us that was already slick bald. So he taught us how to shave our head, and I mean, I started the little motion right there in reception. I got like 6 or 7 people. We all shaved our head, and then the next day we went. We was in front of one of the drill sergeants, and he walked by and said, "Who in the hell gave you permission to bick your head?" And I didn't know what he was talking about. Bick your head. He kind of threw a curveball at me there. I was 18. I wasn't that smart. And it's like, what do you mean, drill sergeant? He was like, shave it with a big razor, private. And I was like, I just shaved it. You know, what's the big deal? He was like, what if you would have cut your head and bled out and died, and now the United States Army don't have a soldier? So he kind of put that thought has always stuck with me when it came to stuff like that. It's like, this is dumb, but what if you go push Private Snuffy over there with his hands in his pockets over and he hits his head and dies? He could have caught himself if his hands wasn't in his pocket.
Wow, that really is like a totally different mindset.
But nobody ever looks at it from the other side of the ball. You know, that's one of the things. You get a little older and you realize what the game is and what you signed up for, and look at it. They're paying
Yeah,
you.
he would have threw me off with the big thing too.
Yeah, dude, I didn't know what he was talking about. I had my head shining though. It was sunburnt.
You're required to shower in a specific order by rank.
Oh no.
Is
I
that real or
mean,
made up?
I'm gonna say that was probably made up. Now, in a environment where you're all deployed and living together, like on a deployment when you got first sergeant, sergeant major, and all them. Yeah, dude, there ain't never no order. There's no order. There ain't no like dibs on the shower. You know, you
Okay.
shower in the one right next to the other guy,
You can get written up for socks being the wrong length.
or the wrong color. You know, I've had that happen for
And
me. Sure did.
you can get in trouble for how you're sitting.
Yeah. So how I'm sitting right now, kind of, they want you more. Yeah.
I would do real bad. I'm a sloucher
So
and I'm
that's not an
crisscross
all the time thing,
applesauce.
though. Well, that's not all the time. That's really at like a board or something. When it comes time for a promotion board, if you walk before, you have 5 or 6 people sitting on this board and you're trying to get a raise, you want to go in there and they tell you, sit with your shoulders back and hands on your legs and be professional. But you're
Mhm.
not going to get in trouble for slouching just sitting around.
Okay, you can get written up for folding clothes the wrong direction.
There is a proper way to fold clothes when you're in training.
Really,
Oh yeah.
Joe was in the Navy for a little bit. My boyfriend, and he said something about he always does his pillows a certain way because he used to do that in the military.
hmm This is all like when you're in training, basic train or in job school. Sometimes it's like that. Even after your basic training and you're owning your career, if you get sent to a specialty school, they give you something called an SOP, a standard operating procedure, and it tells you, I want your closet to have your trench coat on the far left, and I want your PTs on the far right, and I want your shower shoes on the bottom left, and I want your boots on the bottom right. And if that's part of your inspection and they come in there and anything gets switched, you fail. It's an attention to detail thing, really.
But when you're done with training, this kind of all
Oh
doesn't
yeah,
matter.
most people throw it. Most people throw most of the practices right out the window, and some of them they probably shouldn't. Like the showering every day. Me and you probably consider that mandatory, but I've been stationed with guys that thought it wasn't.
Gross.
you know,
Okay, this one you have to salute certain vehicles.
I've never saluted a vehicle. You
Yeah, this
salute
was
certain people
interesting.
though.
I was like, what the?
I mean, maybe if like the president drives by or like a formation or something like that, you might would salute it. But I don't ever recall a situation where I've had to salute a vehicle.
You can be yelled at for walking on grass.
100%. I watched it happen right before I came home.
They
They pour a sidewalk for a reason.
said your ass gotta be on the
That's
sidewalk only.
that is exactly what that sergeant major yelled at that private. He said, "We pour a effing sidewalk for a reason. Walk on it."
Oh
You
my
know how
gosh, that's
expensive? Yeah,
hilarious.
dude. What's funny is you say this is I've been out of the military for a little while now, and yesterday I went to my buddy Josh's house, go see his new apartment. And when we walked out of the apartment, my brother-in-law was walking in front of me, and he cut across the grass. Man, he was 2 foot from the edge of the concrete, and it took everything in me to make myself walk across the grass right there. I had to tell myself in my head, "You could do it," but it didn't feel right.
That is hilarious. You're
That's
like,
back. That's the stuff that it was ingrained. He walked across the corner right here, and I was about to. It's like I ain't got to do that no more. It still
yeah, you
felt
have
wrong
to
though.
you have to like rewire yourself.
100%. a
Okay,
hundred percent.
I have two more. You
All right.
must maintain eye contact the entire time you're being yelled at.
Uh, I don't say you probably have to. Honestly, they probably don't want you to look at them. I do. I'm a eye
Yeah,
contact person anyway.
it said it was made up. But when you're being yelled at, do you have to stand perfectly still and be like
Oh yeah, you stand there and love it.
And you can't go. Okay, you can't get out of this position until they say at ease, right?
That's right. If you're standing at the position of attention, yep.
So Joe told me a story once when he was in training that this sergeant came up to him and he was like this and he was like yelling at him about something. I can't remember. It was really cold. He said it was freezing and he didn't at ease him. And he said the sergeant walked away really, really, really slow and walked like a mile. And he just had to stand there. He said it felt like forever until finally he cut a corner and he didn't see him anymore. And then he could go at
I
ease.
believe that. I believe
Is
that.
that true? If they don't say at ease, you can't at ease until they're out of your sight?
Most of the time it's them messing with you. You know, I have I'll say this about it all comes down to how much authority you have. All of my time in the military, the highest rank I ever made it was specialist, and that's because I had to do it twice. I made it to E4 and then had to restart at E1 and come back to E4. But it was kind of weird. Me coming from the reserves to active duty messed me up. It wasn't like I was the guy that was getting in trouble being a dummy. So me being a specialist, I didn't have the authority to make some people do some stupid stuff. But me having the time in service, I've been in the army a long time, and I had the mechanical experience. I was a pretty decent mechanic, I was told. Um, I could get away with some stuff, and me and some of my NCOs would play games with some of our junior soldiers, some of our newer
Oh,
soldiers.
really?
Oh yeah, it's just all in good fun. They used to call it hazing. You're not allowed to haze anymore, and I feel like that's a good thing. That some people took hazing over into bullying, but I feel like
Take
there's a
it too
good line
far.
where there's a healthy amount of bullying that some people need. Um, if you don't like to brush your teeth in the morning, if I tell you your breath smells like ass 4 days in a row, you might want to go brush your teeth. You know what I mean? But I'm
Yeah.
not going to go make fun of somebody that has bad mouth or something because they couldn't afford toothpaste and stuff as a kid. You know, there's levels to it. So you got to know when to. I'm one of them guys. I'm going to take you to your limit to see where you're at, and uh, and then I'll just work off of that and try to help you. Bad people did it to me, man. I carried a live medical dummy, a full size body, you know, legs and torso when I was in basic training. I don't know if I've ever told this story to a bunch of people, but there's a group of drill sergeants, and I walked through this group of drill sergeants, which is an absolute no-no. And I walked by myself. I thought that my battle buddy Spring was behind me. We were in a classroom. They told us to go outside. I thought he was with me, and for some reason, I'm stupid. I walked right between the middle of these drill sergeants. But they started yelling at me, and there was the big guy, and then there was a little guy. And the big guy would tell me to get down and start doing push-ups, and the little guy would tell me to get up, and I'd get up. Well, that went back and forth for a minute. Finally, the big guy told me, "If you get up again, I'll rip your head off," something like that. And the little guy said, "Get up, Wally," and I just kept doing these push-ups. Finally, the big dude told me to get up. I got up, and they were like, "You are all messed up, dude. Check yourself." So I look at my uniform, all my patches are good, my boots are good. Like, what am I messed up? Like, everything's good. And then I look over here, and my drill sergeant has done came back out, and he's carrying this big old. I mean, he's 100 and something pounds, and said, "Wally, your battle buddy is standing over there in formation, and you need to carry this, and you need to give him a name and a uniform." So I named that medical dummy Roscoe, and I carried him for probably over a week. And any of the guys that were at Fort Jackson in March of 16, they know who I'm talking about. I carried that dude for a minute, and finally, a guy named Qualls from Arkansas walked up to a drill sergeant without a battle buddy when we were eating. We were in the middle of the cafeteria, and I hear, "Wally!" And I look, and they said, "Give Qualls your battle buddy after this." And I started smiling real big, and he said, "Put them effing teeth away."
Holy shit. So you had to carry him everywhere you went?
Sure did. Sure did.
And he was dressed up in a uniform?
Sure did, Roscoe. When it was time to graduate basic training, I had to give there's 3 general orders, and don't even let me tell you off the top of my head. That shows I'm a dirtbag. But I said mine, and then I got Roscoe with me. And then the drill sergeant said, "Was your buddy going to say one?" So I had to put Roscoe in front of me and say the second general order.
Holy shit. That is
You can't do
hilarious.
you can't do that type of stuff no more. But that type of stuff right there, I promise you, anytime I was supposed to have a partner with me, I'd have one.
Did you have to sleep at Roscoe?
No, Roscoe would just kind of stay posted up by the bed, by my boy Watts on the bottom bunk.
But then when you went outside, you had to take him with you.
You gonna leave your battle buddy behind?
Damn.
Dang, got me good. We went on a
Yeah.
land nav exercise, going through the woods with a compass and a map. And I asked one of the drill sergeants, I said, "Do I have to take Roscoe to my point swimming?" He was like, "You gonna leave your battle buddy alone?"
You're like, damn
I
it,
drug him for a couple. Finally, they're like, "All right, go put him up, dude. You carried him to 2 points. We didn't think you would do it." So I hope the drill sergeants watching that made me do that see this. Shout out to you guys.
God, that is hilarious.
Straight up. I'd say that was one of the highlights. That was funny. I'll never forget that.
I wish you had a picture of him.
Oh, dude, I'll find a picture of what they look like. They still use them.
Yeah,
Full size medical dummies.
why Roscoe?
I don't know, man. That was just I don't know. If anybody that was there was watching this know why I named him Roscoe, drop it in the comments.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Straight
All
up.
right, Kyle, what I wanted to ask you, is there anything that you would like to debunk about the military?
Oh, it's not for everybody. I'll say this: it's not for everybody. I'm in a good situation because of the military, so I don't have anything bad to say.
I
For
feel
real,
like
I
people
mean,
just talk so much shit, and I'm like, but do you even know anything about it?
I'll say this: these people that talk crap about it, because I've talked bad about it at times too. You gotta look at like the fruits of their spirit. Like, what kind of lifestyle do you live? You know what I mean? Like, look, I couldn't make it in the military, but they lay around in bed all day till noon, and they drink all day, or they do drugs, and they do that. Yeah, you wouldn't make it in the military. I wouldn't let
Yeah.
you in. Yeah,
You have to have
just
discipline.
right. And not everybody has it, but you have to have it at the right times. You need to be able to read the room. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just need to know when to shut up.
Yeah,
That's what I had to learn for myself.
I'm still trying to learn that. I'm not very good at it.
Hey,
There's a huge difference between motivation and discipline. But
that
you
part.
can have motivation, but at the end of the day, life takes discipline, not motivation.
Well, look, I'll say this. Sometimes people get put in terrible situations in the military. And it's like you get a bad boss, it ain't like you could quit and leave your job. That boss is there as for a year or two. You know? If they don't like you or you rub somebody the wrong way, you're stuck in that unit for however long. So you may miss opportunities to go to school and they give their buddy the opportunity. You may miss this and their buddy gets it. But I mean, situations like that is tough and it's a struggle, but I mean, life is tough and a struggle, and you could go to the next duty station and it not be that way at all. You know, it's just people can make you or break you.
Yeah.
I just recommend really if be the gray man, be that guy. Don't tell everybody your business. Um, work hard and you work hard and keep your head down. You'll go up the ladder pretty quick. You know.
And we're at the end
Yeah.
of the pod.
All right.
So I always like to end the podcast with one last question. For me,
All right.
this podcast, Wandering, is about like the souls that seek. We seek new places and meaning. But I feel like
Absolutely.
we also search for home. That
Yeah.
feeling that makes us feel like most ourselves and kind of grounded. So
Hmm.
this is a way to incorporate music into my podcast because music is such a huge part of my
Absolutely.
life. I don't know. You're super into music as well. So I wanted to
Absolutely.
ask you what song reminds you of home or makes you feel at home.
So I'll say this: when being stuck in some of these places that wasn't so ideal when I was in the military, I used to say I didn't want to come back down to South Mississippi, and being stuck in some of these places made me realize that God, God put me here for a reason, and I kind of felt drawn back, and I'd say probably like where the green grass grows, Tim McGraw, just
I love that
yeah, dude.
song.
Yeah.
I'm gonna live where the green grass grows, watching my corn pop up and roll.
Which is crazy because I'm not like old country bumpkin, dude. I listen to my genre goes from Robert Johnson back in the day to King Von to Kiera. You know what I mean? Like It goes everywhere. But there's just something about being in the South, man. There's good as much as bad as we get, because we got our bad apples down here. But I mean, dude, that it's affordable to live. It's beautiful. Um, we produce a lot of the nation's stuff that we eat and stuff like that. It's awesome. Good people. So
That's
I
awesome. I
say
love that. Yeah. I
say
wasn't
something.
expecting you to say that song because I thought you like rap. I thought you like some
I
hood
do.
music.
I love rap, but I mean, just kind of what makes me feel like what makes me think of home would be, yeah, dude. Like we walk out the door right now, it's green pasture out here and chickens, and I got my dogs out here, and but yeah, hundred
It really
percent.
is beautiful. I always tell people, like, everyone has such a huge perspective on the South. And I'm like, have you ever been? And they're like, no. I'm like, you got to go
That
see it. You got to go test the waters for yourself. It's hard for
that
me to talk to people when they haven't actually seen it with their own eyes. It's just word of mouth crap or what they see on
word of
social
mouth, and
media.
I've had people tell me, "You live in the Bible Belt, and I don't believe in this and that and that, and people are going to judge me and this and that and that." And like, look, dude, like I said, there's bad apples and everything. Go to these places and get the full experience. You know what I mean? I'm serious. Just
Yeah.
go find
Yeah.
some
When
good
Joe
people.
went, he fell in love with it. He was like, if there were waves here, I could live here.
Oh, 100%, a hundred
But
percent. See, I'm jealous
we're
of that.
water people now.
See, I love the water too. I've always been like a water person. Dad will tell you, I've known how to swim since I was 2 years old. Um,
Yeah.
I went surfing once in Venice Beach when I was in LA. Surfed all day, like 6 hours, and only got up once, and it was for like 2 seconds, if even that.
But those two
So
seconds, I'm sure you were like,
oh, dude, just trying to catch the wave and paddle out in front of it, and it's hard to take you, dude. That's awesome. But when I was in Colorado,
yeah.
I got to snowboard, and I fell in love with snowboarding. I'm not good, but I'll be making me a trip to go back up there and do it again.
Dude, I want to
So
go so bad. My first time was last year. I ate a lot of shit. My ass was bruised up, but it was fun.
yes, dude. Anywhere in this world you go, this is me personally. I just anywhere you go, you can find good in something. You can find bad in anything in your body, and it's easy to point out flaws in people and just in places. But I mean, God made each one of us unique. Each place is unique, and each place is different. And you just look for the good and stuff instead of focused on the negative. You know, I could tell you that
Hell
up north
yeah.
they don't have food that's good like we have up north, but we don't have some of these
That's
places. They don't.
that's
They
so
have stuff that we
true.
don't have. You know? Yeah, different culture, different people.
Yeah, I feel like everywhere has their pros and cons. Honestly, if I could take the waves and bring them to South Mississippi, like I'd probably move back. But it's
Man, but
hard. It's hard when you're an ocean lover, and then Mississippi is just it's just fields, beautiful, fields. But it's like yeah, it's
you
that
know,
it's that pull and tug.
you
But
know what's crazy? Just talking about Mississippi and the water in general. So I work on the coast. I'm a project manager at Bruce's down on the coast, and my counterpart Dave has lived in Long Beach his whole life, and he is a wealth of knowledge on just the coast. And I pick with him all the time, like, dude, the water down here is disgusting. Like, look how nasty this water looks. And he's like, dude, it's because you have these islands and reefs and stuff off of our coast that the waves can't be the way they are there because they're getting blocked out there. But if you move them islands
oh,
and you destroy them, we the coast has some of the best seafood in the world because of
that's
this
true.
barrier. So if you move this barrier, you could get the waves back, but then you lose the seafood. So it's like, dang, you know, I didn't know that
Wow,
until
I didn't
recently.
know. I didn't know
I
that.
didn't either. I didn't either. I was just like, I thought it was just nasty water because of this, but really, it's we have rivers running into it, several of them right here, and yeah, the Mississippi coast has some of the best seafood in the world. I'm not saying that because
100.
I'm here, just look it up.
Crawfish season and Mardi Gras is right around the corner. I told Joe, I said, "Damn it, I'm not coming home for Christmas next year. I'm coming home for
Man.
Mardi Gras."
Heck yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Kyle. This was good.
Anytime. Anytime.
I hope all of
Anytime.
this works out and it's clear. You know what I was just thinking about though when we were talking? I was thinking about
What?
when we were like little. I remember we were like playing in the leaves and stuff, like out in the field, like at my house,
Uh-huh.
like my childhood
Uh-huh.
home.
Yeah.
We used to play together all the time because we were so
We did.
so
We
much
did.
closer in age than like Anna Cat and May, you know.
For real,
'Cause-
dude. It's crazy. Yeah,
And now we're
you got grown up,
old.
went to school, man. Grown up, went to college. I went back to Louisiana. Man, life is
Yeah,
crazy, ain't it? I mean, Michaela's
I
out here
know.
teaching a couple kids.
I know. And now you have babies and chickens.
Yeah, I got piles of chickens now. And that's my newfound therapy right there. I know that sounds weird, but the game fowl, that I hate the chickens, man. Daddy had them when I was a kid, and them roosters would try to spur me up, chase me and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
I swore I'd never have an animal. And then I come home and I bought this property after being in Europe. I said, man, I want to go back home and give me a nice little piece of land where I could kind of play and hunt and fish. And I'm not like the huge hunter and fisher or nothing like that, but I wanted to be able to have a place I could if I want to.
Yeah.
And my father-in-law gifted me a pair of chickens, and one thing led to another. I'm a nerd. I like to research stuff. Now I got a lot of them.
Why they call me cowboy, baby?
What's your YouTube channel? Because I'm gonna shout you out. Y'all gotta follow Kyle's YouTube channel.
It's still Mag Farms.
Yeah, still Mag Farms. This is awesome, Kylie. I had a really good
Hey,
time.
for
Thank
real,
you so much for
it's
doing
been an
this.
honor.
All right, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Keep wandering and keep listening to the songs that bring you home.
There you go. Back again by King Von.
Hey, pop out like a ghost, they like Persia, boy, he back again. If a body moving, I spin back again, clap again.